The first actual part of a session that I begin with is probably one of the most character-driven parts, but what I do is, when I first begin a first session of a campaign, is that I zoom in on each character individually, or in groups in the case that any of my players might have a combined backstory, and allow them to have a little bit of time to roleplay before the session actually takes off. The idea is that you're establishing early on that the game that you're running is going to be character motivated, and that you're immediately putting your players in the driver's seat. It also allows them a little bit of a grace period to kind of get into the world, get into character, before anything too high stakes ends up happening. If you just throw them into combat immediately, they'll have no time to enjoy the game, slow down, and really just make sure they start off on the right foot. I mean, there are exceptions, but this is a general rule after all anyway. And that's great and all, but how do I do this? How do I find a way to bring everyone into the story? Well, this starts long before the first session. I encourage my players to have a backstory, and I discuss that backstory with them so that I can make sure that the story and their story are one of the same.